Okay, today, this is video 2. We're going to take a look at adding more features to our Valencia farm. In the design, you've noticed I've added some new text boxes. We had to enter the name before. Now I have enter the age, another text box. The save button got moved over, and you notice I have a clear button now. So let's take a look at some of the code that went behind this. Now we already know how to save a string, as we did in the last video, to the text box and show it in a message box. So we saved it to this string and we showed it in this message box. Now, what if you wanted to enter an integer to represent the age of the pig? This is how you would do it. First, you have to declare an int, like you would in C, and give it the value, give it a name. In my case, I put first, and first gets int.parse. Now, this is a little bit different from what you got here. You just got the straight text, but now you're going to read in this from the text from the user as a string, and we need to convert that to an integer. And you can do that several ways. For all of the different types like double or float and int, there is a parse method that will convert the string into an integer or double or float. So we use the int.parse, and inside the parentheses you put the text box.text like you did up here for the string. Once that's typed out, it'll convert it and assign it to an integer. And then of course the message box to show the age. Now here just something different too. You have to convert it back to a string to show it in the message box, because the message box shows a string, which it was kind of easy up here. We just put the name, everything is a string, everything is fine. However, here there's a method called toString, pretty self-explanatory. Converts it back to a string, or shows it as a string, not converts it. So first, which is the variable name, hit the dot. There's a method called toString, call that, and it will represent the first integer as a string. And you put that right here, as you would do up here, and so on. Now these are doubles and floats, and I showed you how to declare them here in C#. I put them in comments because I really didn't use them, and that's another lesson. This is how you would put a comment in C#, just like you would in C, / with a star, and then end it with a star and a /. And comments are not part of the code. They're just used to be descriptive or to assign things. And in my case, I wanted just to comment out some code so it doesn't give me any kind of warnings or anything like that. But to declare a double, which is an integer, sort of. Integers are whole numbers, but this one can take in decimals. And this right here, it shows you an example of it, 7.5. So if you want to use something that used a decimal, you would use a double. Floats are the same as well, except that when you declare a float, you must put an F at the end to distinguish between the two. Now doubles could hold a lot more, and they're bigger in memory than floats. So if you have a very extremely large number, you want to use a double, but a float could also hold quite a bit. It's up to 7 places of accuracy, where the double's like 15 places of accuracy. So you know, depending on what you want, floats might be better to use because they're smaller in memory, but they're only up to 7 places of accuracy, where doubles are up to 15 places of accuracy. So depending on what you want. And you would use them the same way you did an int. Instead of the int.parse, you would do a double.parse or float.parse. Okay? And to get your user input to be converted back into whatever value you need. And they also have the toString method as it shows here. Now if we go back to the design, there's also something called clear, and that would clear out this box and this box. That's actually fairly simple. We already know the name of the boxes because we called it the name box, and the first int box is what I named this right here. And there's a simple method called clear, really built into C#. So this is the name box, and we get the first int box. We want to get the text from them. Well, now we want just to clear the boxes. So whenever this clear button is clicked, the name box and the first int box will be cleared. Okay, sounds pretty neat, right? So let's go ahead and give it a test run. Begin the farm, and enter name. Let's call him Piggy, and let's call him, let's say make him 10 years old. Hit save. Piggy and 10 years old. We hit the clear button. We can name him something else. Let's call him Daffy, and he's 3. And instead of hitting save this time, let's hit clear, and you notice that it cleared it out for you. So the clear button seems to be working pretty well. So that's pretty good. And in your next assignment, you might be using something like this. Okay, hint, hint. So let's go ahead and close this guy out, this guy, go back to the code. And that's what I kind of wanted to show you today. In the next video, we'll be going more into something more different, such as classes and how to assign a pig object. All right. Thank you, and see you in the next video.